Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. This vlog's a bit more personal since I'll be sharing with you something that is very close to my heart, something I love, surfing and La Union. I was introduced to surfing when I went to Baler with my high school classmates in 2015. The second I got up on my board, it was such a thrilling and addicting experience. And being able to do long rides on the waves made me feel so free and so blissful. I couldn't get enough. So I decided to go to La Union with my close college friends the following year for my birthday. Unfortunately, I lost photos of that trip, so I'll share the ones I had with my family during the following month of the same year. I also have photos from my high school best friend Maan when we went to La Union April of 2017. I had fond memories of those trips, from surfing all day to hiking to Tangadan Falls when the waves were flat. We even surfed together while holding hands, which I thought was pretty rad. My inner child was joyful and content during those days. If falling in love with a place was a thing, I'd say I fell in love with LU at first sight. In terms of the surf spots that I visited, the vibe that I got from each is that Baler is old-fashioned and historical, Zambales chill and tranquil, and La Union hipster and friendly. I haven't gone to Siargao yet to make any judgments. So from 2015 to 2017, I was in La Union probably every year. But I stopped when I got busy and focused on my career, and I was also studying part-time for my master's degree. I went back in November of 2022, and despite the new establishments and businesses that popped up over the years, it was still the same surf town that I fell in love with 7 years ago. I was going through it when I visited again. I wasn't the same 21-year-old young professional from before. I was 28 years old, taking on more adult commitments. I wanted to take a breather because I felt I was experiencing growing pains and adjusting to this new chapter in my life, which is to become a better and more responsible colleague, daughter, sister, relative, friend, and human being. More importantly, I wanted to be more compassionate to myself. Mid-2022, I was intentional in making surf trips and travel more frequent because it's honestly a lifestyle that I'd like to follow, given the privilege of having to work remotely at least 50% of the time. So here's me checking the car before leaving for a long drive. Fun fact, I've only recently gotten my driver's license this year, but I've been learning how to drive since I was 16. I decided to finally work on getting it seriously because of work and personal matters, since I do have to go back and forth to Cavite, Laguna, and Manila. This is the first road trip I have with my college best friend Gracie. I've known her for more than a decade already, and every time we hang out, we could talk about anything under the sun and be our weird true selves. When we got to Urbiz Centro convenience store, which is near Red Doors at Camp St. John, we were greeted by Alfred, a very close friend of mine and also my constant surf instructor. The convenience store also has transient accommodation upstairs, where we stayed in one of the rooms. Alfred's family owns the place, and like Alfred and his family, many other local surf instructors have made their own businesses and living from the strong tourism industry of the surf town. Unfortunately, there weren't any waves on that day, so we just did a tour of Surf Town for Racy. Actually, she has been there a couple of times already, and she was even part of my 2016 birthday celebration. But since there are a lot of new cafes, restaurants, bars, and resorts, we decided to check out those we haven't seen yet. Together with Alfred as our local tour guide, we went to Masa Bakehouse, where we had one of the best croissants. The croissants are huge, flaky, and buttery. It managed to stay crispy even when we ate it the next day for breakfast during our ride back home. Afterwards, we just hung out on a main beach break where local surf is located. I've jumped from one surf school to another here in LU, learning how to surf with whoever instructor was available on the shoreline. But I finally settled with local, and in my November 2022 trip, I actually was a solo traveler and I became good friends with the boys in local. They are such cool, respectful, and protective guys. We also met some folks from Manila who also travel to surf in LU. There's also this structure/art installation created by the students of Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University. Inside of the structure, there are some infographics about the local trees and birds found in La Union, and also the project itself. For dinner, we went to Kermit, which is a restaurant that started in Siargao. We had the Kermit pizza and bolognese pasta, which were both super yummy. Funnily enough, in my travels to La Union, this was my first time trying this, mainly because I would just eat in naknak and other budget-friendly carinderias around the place. But Kermit is a 10 out of 10 and I would recommend. To cap the night off, we went to Shrine of Satisfaction and had a few drinks. Racy and I both had an amaretto sour and Alfred had a whiskey sour. Honestly, I was surprised that the cocktails here were at a Manila rate, which is at 250 to 350 pesos already. But anyway, the music was great, I danced and vibed to it, and we all had fun. While it seems hard to let go of the conveniences seen in city life, I feel at peace and more healthy living near nature. Being able to surf in the morning, walk around outdoors, and then working in the afternoon. It seems like a good balance of work and play. LU is already also quite developed, with hospitals, malls, and good universities and schools already set up. We had to leave early though at 5 in the morning the next day because I had a workshop. Nonetheless, I'll be there again for my birthday to surf and work remotely, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'd also like to thank Racy for being my personal videographer for this vlog. Most of the clips that you see here were recorded by her. As I'm entering this phase where I need to think about where I want to stay long term and how I want to design and live my life, I'm honestly considering La Union as one of the choices for settling. With a farm in Quezon and hybrid remote work, hopefully I'll be able to find a way to balance all of these and integrate it in my lifestyle. I'll document my journey in my vlogs and I'll take you with me. I'll see you soon, friend. Bye for now.